Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to give you an update since the last time I put out a video was July 1st, and it's been a few months since then. I wanted to give you an update on what's happened since then and what's going to happen going forward. First thing, if you recall, the reason why I stopped putting out videos is because my wife lost her job and we both needed to do the job hunt thing. Around July 7th, I received an email asking if I wanted to apply for a job. Now, the job itself wasn't necessarily what I wanted, but where it was exactly what I wanted. And I did a small little interview. A few weeks goes by, sent them an email saying, hey, what's going on? And they said, sorry, I already found somebody else. About mid-August, I applied for a job at the state. It was decent pay. Set up a test to do the thing to see if I could get the job. And about 3 days before I went to go take the test, I received another email from that first place asking if I wanted to help start up a Bible Institute. Now, I have 2 degrees. I have a Bachelor of Science in Religion, and I have a Master of Arts in Philosophical Studies. So those are where my professional training is. Doing this Bible Institute thing is right up my alley, but no pay. So it's one more thing that's been tacked on to work on that I'm not going to be getting paid for. So needless to say, the job with the state, I decided to opt out of doing the test. Now, I applied for a job at Home Depot and Best Buy. At the beginning of the month, I had an interview with Best Buy, and before the interview was done, the lady I was interviewing with, she said that she wasn't going to hire me. Now, the job itself was for asset protection, and the reason why she said she wasn't going to hire me is because she thought I'd do better as a sales associate. So she said she would forward my application on to the person who's in charge of that department. About a half an hour after I had my interview, I was off doing some shopping at Petco, and I received a phone call from the lady I interviewed with, and what she said was the guy who's in charge of the Geek Squad wanted me to apply for his position. I guess he walked in while I was doing the interview, and he liked what he heard. Unfortunately, I don't want to do that. Well, I could do that. It's not what I want to do. So I think I'd do better as a sales associate. The problem is I haven't heard anything back since. So right now I'm in this place of limbo. Now, to kind of backtrack a bit as to where this channel came from, I had ordered a whole bunch of Gundam stuff. And I started putting the Zaku 2 together. And all of a sudden I had this idea of, well, why not make a channel out of this? Just kind of documenting my progress. Well, since that time, it's gone from just documenting models to wanting to do actual videos and actually put out more content. One of the problems I'm finding, though, is the time to do it, is making the time to do it. My wife found a job, but she's usually up around 4 or 5 in the morning and isn't home until 3, and by the time she gets home, she's exhausted, which makes it difficult for me to do videos. I'm recording in my garage in the middle of Nevada, so during the day it's extremely hot, so I can't record during the day. I have to record it at night, and by the time that happens, my wife, who usually does the behind the camera stuff because I have no way of monitoring what's going on, she's too exhausted to do it. So even right now, I'm doing it by myself, hoping that nothing is dying in the process or nothing has stopped recording for whatever reason, and hoping that I can just get this done. One of the things that has happened, because this wasn't a planned, oh, I'm going to make a channel and I'm going to launch it at this time. It wasn't a business decision. I've spent a lot of money that I didn't have to spend and that I shouldn't have spent. Because I think this is worth it. I really want to do this. I think this is fun and enjoyable, and I like involving the community, and I want to help build the Gundam community within my area, and I think that YouTube is one of the ways to do it, and it's probably one of the best ways to do it at this point in time. But I've invested so much money into this, money that I don't have, and so trying to understand, okay, I have all this other stuff going on. I need to make time for family. I need to make time to do the Bible Institute. I need to make time to work. I need to make time to do this channel. I'm running out of time, and that's become evident to me over this past few months. I've tried recording this single video think this will be the 5th time since the end of August, and just things were not going right, and between my wife not being able to help me, it just took this long to get it out. And this is a simple video. I mean, this is the basic. But I have plans. I'd like to do maybe like a weekly live stream show, maybe some game videos or something like that. But all those things require different types of equipment that I don't have and I can't afford to get. So in trying to come up with the solution to this, running through, okay, what about sponsors? Well, I don't think there really are sponsors for this type of video. I mean, there's a few, but they're not quite there. There's the ads, the YouTube ads, but the reality of it is, because this is such a new channel, the revenue, it's nothing. I'd make more money scrounging the street for pennies than actually making videos. Now, an average video, a basic video, takes at least 4 hours to do, and that's, let's say, like an unboxing. Just pulling out the stuff, unboxing it, putting it together, rendering it out, uploading it, making sure everything's set. That's a 4-hour time frame. The stuff that I want to do is going to take a lot more time and effort and energy, so much so that it'll be a full-time or more job. So what I've decided is to open up an account on Patreon. I'm kind of hesitant about that, just because it feels like begging, and I don't want to do that. But at the same time, I think it's a legitimate way to get things going. If you're not familiar with Patreon, what it is it's kind of like crowdfunding, but instead of being just for one project and then it's over, it's an ongoing month to month or project to project or video to video or item to item kind of thing. I've decided to do month to month just because it's cleaner that way in my mind. And what I've set up is a set of goals and rewards. The goals are to move forward in what's going on. I think the first one is just to make sure that I have items each month that can be reviewed or unboxed or looked at or explored or whatever the case may be, whether it's books, whether it's kits, whether it's paint. I don't know. But it gives me a buffer that I can make sure that content is available. And then I have other milestones that mark, being able to do proper B-roll footage or being able to do a weekly show and invest that time into it. At this moment, it's just a hobby. I don't make any income off of it, and I have a hard time justifying time for it, especially when the needs of my family comes first. And I have a vision. It's hard for me to convey that vision, but I think that it could become something that is very worth it in the Gundam community. The other thing, if you can't tell, I have been working on stuff, even though I haven't been making videos. I upgraded my lights to give more dynamic lighting because it needed it. The setup that I had, it was a total of 3 lights. And I think now I have 12 or 11 or something like that. I have decent lighting, so I could get better lighting on things. If you can see behind me, I have kind of a set going on. I've put stuff up on the wall. I have stuff behind me, and of course this is stuff that'll be worked on. But my goal is to, in part, show Bandai that there is a market for Gundam kits and products and merchandise in America. Will they listen? Probably not. But it helps give a solid piece of evidence for that. So back to Patreon. There is a reward system as well in place for those who are pledging money per month. And again, all this stuff is kind of tentative. I'm working out the way things should look. I don't know. I haven't used this before, so I don't really know the ins and outs of it. One of my thoughts is to leave any vlog style stuff behind the scenes, that kind of thing, for Patreon patrons, I guess, exclusively, and then just have the channel be channel kind of stuff. I have scripts for shows that focus around Gundam series as well. So I have a best of worst of. I think I have a total of 5 scripts that I'm working on, 2 that I've completed, and third one that's almost done, and then the other 2 are just kind of waiting for me to go through the series to pick out these elements, so that I have something, so I have content. But again, that's time, effort, energy, and money. That's stuff that I can't really justify at this point in time. So if you can, now this isn't an ultimatum. This isn't a you do this or else I won't put out videos. I'll continue to put out videos. I'll continue to upgrade my equipment as I can. But something that with your help might take a month or 2 or 3. For me to do it alone, it might take me a year. And that means it's that much longer that I'm pushing back all these ideas and trying to get them out. At this point in time, there's a crucial piece of equipment that I need to start getting these scripts filmed. At the moment, I'm doing impromptu, but these are actually scripts. I need to make sure that I get these key things going. And I've tried other methods, and nothing comes out looking natural. Nothing comes out as smooth as using the specific piece of equipment. But it's a couple $100. I don't have that. I've spent everything I have really on getting this going. So if you can, I'm asking for your help. Doesn't need to be a lot. $1 a month, $2 a month, whatever you feel is worth it. This is kind of like a tip system. You go to Starbucks, you have an awesome barista, you give them a tip. You go out to dinner, you have an awesome waiter or waitress, and you give them a tip. That just shows shows them that you appreciate what they've done for you, the service that they've provided. Now, YouTube is free. I'm doing this because I want to, not because I have to. And so you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. Just watching the videos, I appreciate that. Subscribing, I appreciate that. Those are awesome things. So thank you for that. And with that, I think I have 2 videos that are recorded. Had issues doing multicam stuff in Premiere. Premiere was breaking the multicam, but I think everything's fixed. They released a patch, and so I should be able to get those videos out. One is an unboxing or a delivery unboxing for August, and the other is a delivery unboxing for September. I'll put up the August one as soon as possible. The one for September, I don't know if I want to stagger it or just release it right after. I'm not 100% sure since we are in September. But again, I could use your help. So if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you think if you have friends that might like these kinds of videos, share these videos. Let them know. Spread the word. I appreciate it. And I am working to show you my appreciation for what you guys have done. So with that, I think we're good. And I'll see you next time.